Pickup Lines is presented by Gamez Law Firm. Personal injury guidance for more than 50 years. Gamez Law fights. By Integrity Roofing and Siding. Family owned and operated for more than 40 years, serving the San Antonio area for roofing, siding, and renovation needs. And by the Sabinal Group. For nearly 20 years, serving the San Antonio region through professional minority general contracting services. Pickup Lines is broadcast from inside the all-electric Lexus RZ450e, courtesy of North Park Lexus at Dominion and North Park Lexus of San Antonio.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is a beautiful, cloudy Monday afternoon, but nonetheless, this is Pickup Lines, the talk show in a car. And I'm thrilled to be here with a guy that I've known for a long time. He's a friend, and he's a really connected, impressive guy, as you're going to find out here in just a little bit. The great Armen Babajanian is with us here, the World Affairs Council of San Antonio CEO.
Yes.
And it is a pleasure to have you here on Pickup Lines.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for picking me up from Chacho's. That was great.
Oh, yeah, exactly. We had the King Kong nachos.
King Kong nachos.
See, now you're taking me back to... I'm going to get hungry here. Seriously, I think I'm going to want some nachos after we're done here in just a little bit. No, we are here not too far from, North Star Mall, right off of 410, where you have your office here.
Yeah.
And I find out, I can't remember what this building is called, but I have a lot of friends who are in this building here.
It's called Century Heights.
Century Heights.
Yeah.
Large glass facade with a bunch of square windows on it and everything. And you've driven by it a million times, but maybe you didn't realize Armen office is out of here.
Yes. Well, the choice was either Papa Do's or the building. And my board wouldn't, I wasn't sold on them to Papa Do's.
Well,
but...
you can walk right over there. They'll get you a
right.
bowl of gumbo or whatever you need whenever you'd like to. So, but no, we have a lot to get to here because this is a guy that you've been with World Affairs Council now for how long?
Going on my 6th year here.
6th year.
Yeah.
But I can trace our history together beyond that.
Oh, I mean, we go way back, right?
Something like that.
Bowl for kids' sake, for Big Brothers Big Sisters. You were at the bowling alley covering events, throwing out the first ball, covering our events and whatnot. So
I get around, is what he's saying. I get around. No, but it's fascinating because I'll run into Armen at different things, and I think it was Dream Week not too long ago. I saw you at the opening breakfast. So Babajanian is what part of the world? I know you grew up in Los Angeles.
I was born and raised in Los Angeles.
Babajanian is...
It's a very Armenian name.
Armenian. I was going to guess Armenia, but I didn't want to get it wrong. But you were born and raised in Los Angeles.
I was born and raised in Los Angeles. And the little trick to knowing if someone's Armenian, if their last name ends in IAN or YAN, 9 times out of 10, it's an Armenian last name.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get it now, but obviously your parents were set up on the West Coast, or how did they end up in Los Angeles, or what was happening the day you were born there?
Yeah. So there's a large minority of Armenians that live in Iran.
Okay.
Going back, because Armenians are, we go back thousands of years.
Sure.
The first nation to accept Christianity as a form of religion, and in the 5th century. So there's a lot of history there. And so they migrated from Iran to Armenia. It was during Soviet time. So as soon as they got to the Soviet Union, they're like, we need to get out of here.
Yes.
So they were on a 20-year wait list to get out. And long story short, it didn't take them 20 years. And they ended up in the States in 1975, and I was born several months later.
Okay. So we're about the same age and everything, but I
thought you were much younger.
No. I will take Los Angeles over Russia, respectfully.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Do you have family in that part of the world?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, my parents and my brother, they've settled in the Northern California area. I have some friends and family in Southern California, and so every now and then we visit. But I'm glad to be in Texas. I'll say that. It's meeting people like you.
Right. Cost of living is
Cost
a lot
of
better
living
over here.
is nice, yes.
No,
yes.
exactly. Was it work that brought you over here? Because I know, so you went to UCLA.
I did.
But then you got a master's degree here at UTSA.
I did, yeah. Well, right after graduation from college, I was trying to figure out life.
Right.
You know, unlike now, I know exactly what I want to do with my life.
Right.
But back then, I was kind of not sure what area I wanted to go into. My brother was in Houston.
Yep.
My parents were living there, and so I said, let me just move there, and started with Big Brothers Big Sisters in 2001 in Houston, Texas. And the rest is history. 18 years with the organization.
Yeah, you bounced around, right?
Yeah.
You were in the Hill Country, I think.
I was in Kerrville, yeah.
But and I before I had children, like 20 years ago, my wife and I, it might have been when we were in Arizona, or maybe we were here. But either way, we sponsored, or we were a big brother, I guess, and sister. To
Big couple.
A big couple. Yeah, I feel like both of us were doing
Nice.
it. But I remember very vividly doing that. And again, I was much younger and didn't have children yet. But that's what that is, where you essentially, on an individual, or I guess on a couple basis, you mentor a young person.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's really
It was
cool.
for a little bit. It wasn't too long, but my wife is a social worker, and so she makes a living helping people and that kind of
Nice.
stuff. So yeah,
Very cool.
Yeah. So, but certainly not the level of service that you did.
Well.
But were you at Big Brothers Big Sisters when World Affairs came a calling? The council.
I was. So I went from Houston to Kerrville.
Yes.
Stayed in Kerrville for 6 years. Came to San Antonio, and then I had this great opportunity to go start Big Brothers Big Sisters in Warsaw, Poland. So in 2014, I packed up my 2 cats and moved to Warsaw, and built the program from scratch. Hired local people and built it up, and then left it to the locals to run it. And that took about 2 years to do, and then came back. Denise Barkers, who's the CEO of Big Brothers Big Sisters, was kind enough to hire me back. And I did that for a few years, and then in 2019, I went over to the World Affairs Council.
How is your Polish?
It's horrible. It's a very difficult language.
My brother-in-law, my sister's married to a Polish gentleman from Warsaw.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
But I couldn't speak one word of Polish, but
You know, it's a difficult language. There are a lot of consonants and not too many vowels. But dzień dobry, pivo, which is beer, and
okay, very good. all the important words that you need.
Yes.
Okay, very good. We continue on here with Armen Babajanian, the CEO of the World Affairs Council of San Antonio. Let's get to defining World Affairs Council.
Yeah.
I mean, as the name would suggest, you deal with things that have an international flair to them, I would think, in some cases. But how to the layperson out on the street or from out of town, how do you explain to them what is the World Affairs Council of San Antonio?
Sure. It is, to put it in a couple sentences, and I could expand on it a little bit more, but the World Affairs Council, we do programs to inform and educate the community about U.S. foreign policy and international affairs. So if you unravel that, we put on events, panel discussions, fireside chats, speakers who are coming to talk about whether it's their experiences or their opinions of things that are happening around the world or have happened around the world.
Right.
So a great example would be we have 4 consul generals coming from Houston, the consul general from Greece, Ukraine, Germany, and Israel. So we're organizing an event around that, and we'll invite the community, come and learn, ask questions, ask tough questions, and then leave better informed about what's happening around the world. So it's a smorgasbord of historical items, current events, culture.
Yes.
So it's not all doom and gloom of all the crazy stuff happening around the world.
There's a lot of that.
There is a lot of that.
Yeah.
But we try to incorporate things that are, things that you and I would like culinary stuff and, building relationships and.
And you don't need a passport for any of that stuff.
They'll
come to you.
Yeah.
They come here. What is it about this kind of work, though, that you enjoy doing the most?
When I lived in Poland, you have a different language. The culture's quite different. Of course, you have religions and all the history. One of the things I came back learning from living there was how similar we are. the parents who put their kids in the program were going through similar things that American families were going through. The volunteers who were becoming bigs in the program, they were volunteering for the same reasons or not volunteering for the same reasons.
Good point.
So it really allowed me to step into another culture in their feet and their shoes, and understand how I didn't know the language, so I was always the fly on the wall, and so I got to listen a lot, I got to observe a lot, and that really made me appreciate them and vice versa. And so I came back, and when I started with the World Affairs Council, it's that understanding of how other cultures live is probably the most rewarding, and how people here in San Antonio are so interested about what's happening around the world, because a lot of times things that happen around the world impact what happens locally, whether it's economic, culture, politics, or policy.
Boy, but I mean, there's so much. You just turn on the news. I mean, there's a lot happening right now. It's sometimes maybe I feel like it's hard to keep up with everything, but you guys do a good job of doing that, and you mentor, you can impact young people as well. Young people that are interested in these kinds of things, you can reach them as well.
We have an event next week. It's called Academic World Quest. It's a local high school trivia competition.
I've heard about this trivia contest. I've heard about it.
And it's remarkable to see these high school students who are so engaged, who know so much, who wants to know more.
Right.
And to observe that. And a lot of them are so much. I mean, they have the answer faster than I could Google it. So that.
Are you the host?
We are the host, yeah.
But are you like the Alex Trebek or the
No,
host?
we have
ask the question.
We have a board member, Brandy Russell from CPS Energy.
Okay.
And Suhel Arastu.
Yes. I know them both. Yes.
Yeah, so
great people.
They're both splitting up emceeing the event.
Okay.
I just sit back and I'm in awe of how informed and how smart these kids are. And so you're right. I think looking at our young professionals, our high school students, and now a junior membership for kids that we started. So you're absolutely right.
Well, and I think it's so important to consider having your children pursue something in this world, because you can learn so much, and it's different than reading it in a book or learning it in a class. Mm-hmm. It's immersive sometimes,
or looking at it. I'm guilty of this too.
Phones,
You're always on your phone,
yes.
And you can't. I mean, which is great. It's great to get information. More information is better than no information. But there's no ability to respond to any of that stuff. So a couple of weeks ago, we had the former prison guard to Nelson Mandela here in town. I mean, imagine being in the room with this person who was friends with eventually, took him food, took him books, and you're able to not only hear his stories and experiences, but you're able to interact with them, exchange information with them. If you decide to go to South Africa, maybe go have a visit with them. So it's a remarkable thing.
But the story, I mean, Nelson Mandela was in prison for 20-something years,
That's right?
So, the stories that he must have had.
Yes.
Pretty remarkable stuff. Some people might be surprised to know the World Affairs Council of San Antonio has been around for a long time, since the early 80s.
82. Yeah. So we came, the people that were involved in creating this organization were some of the community leaders, the Mr. Frost, the Zacharys, Lila Cockrell.
Iconic names.
Yes, they got together, and one of the things they were looking at was how to make San Antonio competitive, much like Greater SATX is doing now, economic development. But they sat down and they said, how do we become competitive? And one aspect was international relations.
Right.
Other cities who were competitive had a World Affairs Council. So they decided that this is what we needed in this area, and we launched it in 1982.
So I know San Antonio has sister cities.
That's right.
And delegations here will make trips to other parts of the world throughout the year. Is that? Are you in on all of that as well?
We're kind of on the periphery of that, because we're not directly involved. We have a sister organization called the San Antonio Council for International Visitors that work with delegations that come through the State Department.
I see.
We also have the city of San Antonio's Global Engagement Office that oversees the sister cities. And we just had their national summit here a few years ago, or was it last year? It was last year.
Right.
So the Global Engagement Office, which is part of the economic development of the city of San Antonio, oversees the Sister Cities International
Got it.
Entity. So we're involved in it, but not directly. But we're part of all the actions that take place here.
Very good. All right, a few more minutes with Armen Babajanian with the World Affairs Council of San Antonio. They have a website if you'd like to go on there. So it's WAC, World Affairs Council, WACofsa.org. So
Yes.
WACofsa.org. And it's on here already on the post if you want to see and find out more about what Armen does, because it's fascinating for me. I'm not much of a world traveler, but I do love to learn about things that are happening. And such is the case today. I'm learning. You brought a couple of things with you that you want to show off.
Well,
here.
first of all, before I get to my show and tell,
Yes.
I want to congratulate you.
Oh,
You know, I think a lot of people were happy to hear that you're back. You're not back, but you're back in television at KSAT. So congratulations on that. Very happy for you.
I appreciate that. Armen and so many of you have been so generous and supportive and kind. I really do appreciate that. I will be there next week. And they've been great working with me, because I told them, listen, I got to do some of these shows. I got to talk to Armen still. I got stuff to do. I am very much looking forward, and I'm hoping that in my new role, I'll do a lot of this, similar things like this, is telling stories, learning about fascinating people who are here in San Antonio, people like yourself that are in leadership roles, that have been doing these great things for a long time and maybe just don't get the press or the love that you guys need or deserve. And so thank you for that.
Of course. It's too bad you're going to have to use the KSAT van instead of a Lexus.
Well, we're working on that. We're going to see. My team is working hard on that, because this car, I'm spoiled by it now.
It's a sweet car.
Thank you very much. North Park Lexus will appreciate that.
Nice.
So, at any rate, okay,
Yes.
You have a shiny, beautiful.
So this is something that just recently happened. I think people could see it. You can't read the inscription on there, but
Well, here, let me do this.
So
Put it right up here.
each year at our national conference
Yep.
in Washington D.C., a council is selected as the Council of the Year.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, I see it
And
right there.
so this past year in D.C., we joined over 90 World Affairs Councils. Of the 90 World Affairs Councils,
Right.
San Antonio was selected as the Council of the Year. So this is
Very good.
This is a very cool. We're very humbled and honored by it. And let me tell you, Ernie, this is. I know it's the leadership, the internal leadership, and our board and our staff, but really it's the community's award. We would not be able to get something like this without getting the gifts, the donations, the sponsors, the volunteers, the board, everyone who comes to our events. So this is the San Antonio's award, and we're just very humbled to have it.
Good for you. Well deserved, for
Thank
sure.
you.
Okay, so there's that. And I know you wanted to kind of talk about
Yeah, so
someone we lost not too long ago.
So we are our award dinner, our gala is coming up on
Yes.
March 19th, which we're honoring Port San Antonio's Jim Perschbach.
So it's your International Citizen of the Year Award celebration, March 19th, yes, at the Tobin Center.
Yeah, sorry, I jumped the gun.
No, that's okay. No, I got you. I want to make sure I get that out there to everybody if they want to go.
And our keynote speaker is General Mark Hertling. But at that event, we're also honoring Carlos Alvarez, who was not only a huge entity and a huge legend in the philanthropic world and also the business world, but also a mentor of mine and a supporter of the World Affairs Council. So we'll be honoring him there, and we're also going to celebrate our annual event and celebrate Jim as our honoree, and a few other tricks that we have up our sleeve. But it's our signature event, our International Citizen of the Year.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Is the Alvarez School of Business the one at UTSA?
That's correct.
Correct?
That's right.
Named after the late Carlos Alvarez.
That's right. That's right. Yes.
Which I've heard so many things about. Were you in that? You were in that school?
I was not. No, I was in the political science department.
Okay.
Yeah.
But people in the Roadrunner community know exactly what we're talking about. And you can drive by. I think there's a dormitory named after the Alvarez family, or at least the business school for sure.
Yes.
But nonetheless, so I know he is missed there on that campus.
Yes.
I'm glad you mentioned him. But Jim Perschbach.
Yes.
So that's happening March 19th at the Tobin Center. If that's something that you would like to attend or learn more about, you can certainly do that. But that's pretty cool.
It is. It's our 40th year we're doing this. We always select a local person who is doing some great things locally, but also impacting on a global scale.
Yeah.
And so what Jim's doing at Port San Antonio is extraordinary. He's quite the visionary. and a funny guy. And I just he's we're looking forward to him. We've had past honorees like Sherry Dolat-Shai with the city,
right?
Shannon Cedric Davis. And we go back for 40 years with so many other people.
You know, I got to tell you, this just popped into my head. You're not the first person that's recently told me about Jim in Port San Antonio. I think that maybe that's another part of town where people just don't realize. I experienced that recently at Brooks, too, where people don't realize, like, they've heard of Brooks or they've heard of Port San Antonio, but they don't know everything that's happening over there and the people like Jim that are leading those efforts and making it happen.
Well, a lot of educational initiatives for youth.
Yeah.
I mean, you go into that museum, which is open to the public, and you know, David Monroe, who oversees that, is, in my opinion, a genius. He actually is the guy who invented the iPhone for the camera on the iPhone.
Wait, hold on a second. Say that again?
Yeah, the person who invented the camera to the iPhone.
The one we're literally using right now.
Right there,
yes,
is a San Antonian. Yeah, among other inventions. And if
wait a minute, how did it? Is this commonly known, or am I just?
It should be.
Tell me his name again.
David Monroe.
David Monroe is from San Antonio and invented the camera for the iPhone.
Yeah.
Obviously years ago, because the iPhone's been out for 20 years now or something.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
where have I been?
And
like I literally have him to thank for
that's
the ability to talk to you right now.
Yeah. Kind of sponsoring your program.
I literally forgot. I'm having a moment right now. David Monroe. I'm going to do some more research on him.
Yes.
Where is he still in San Antonio?
Yes, yeah. He's usually at the museum if you go to at the port.
Okay, I'm going to write that down when we're done. Yeah. David Monroe, I'm going to come after you and find you for pickup lines. Did I tell you I learned something new every day on doing this show?
I could see that, yeah.
Okay.
And for me, much less.
Well, no, listen, you're a smart guy. You're a very educated, smart man who's traveled the world and has done a few good things. What's coming up? So we mentioned the event on the 19th of March, International Citizen of the Year Award. What does this time of year, the springtime, late winter, springtime, look like on your calendar?
Yeah, right now we're focusing on the two big events are the high school trivia competition.
Yes.
The winner, if you're a high school student or if you're a counselor or a teacher or principal, we're always looking to expand. It's free for students to participate in. If they have a slight interest in international affairs, it's a great way for them not only to participate, but potentially win and go to D.C., where the national competition is held in April. So Keystone actually won the national competition about 2 years ago.
Very good.
So
we got a lot of smart young people here in our area.
Oh yeah. And then after that, we have the Consul General program with the Consul Generals from Houston. We're partnering with the Jewish community to do that. And then we have our gala. We're doing a program on water sustainability.
Okay.
And then we're also doing we have so many, there's no time to talk about all of them, but we're bringing the author of The Zookeeper's Wife. Okay. So that was a book and a movie, and it's about the zookeeper and his wife of the Warsaw, coincidentally in Poland, the Warsaw Zoo, and they were also hiding and trying and escaping Jews from Warsaw. And so we're bringing here to San Antonio. We're partnering with the zoo and also the Holocaust Museum to make that happen. But if anything I've said sounds interesting, look us up at the Google us, worldaffairscouncil.org, or our website. WACOFSA.org. I love this stuff. Like I said, I mean, you see my reactions to some of these things, and I'm like, it's pretty remarkable. Because, again, I'm not much of a world traveler, but I love that this stuff comes here. And I feel like San Antonio is trying really hard to be more of an international city and play ball with some of the other, big metropolitan cities around the country and around the world. Absolutely. You're looking at a lot of businesses. You look at the port and how many international businesses there are. Greater SATX and the city and the county, they're doing a lot of things to attract more people. And I think we're on our way. I'm very positive and optimistic of where we're headed. Okay, very good. I love it. Are we leaving anything out or anything else we want to tell everybody here? No, I think if anything we've said today resonates with you even just a little bit, and if you want to get your feet wet, come to our programs. It's a great way for you to learn and see what we do,
Okay.
and be able to interact. You don't have to ask questions or interact, and just kind of stay in the background.
Soak it all in.
Yeah, let us know and we'll get involved.
Do you have any fun talents or interesting tidbits of information? Something that might surprise our viewers?
I don't know if this is interesting, but when there was a point where I was laid off from work when I lived in Houston.
Oh.
And so I had 3 different jobs.
Okay.
One was an internship. So in the daytime, I was a substitute teacher.
Okay.
I was working as an intern at KPRC Channel 2.
Channel 2, yes.
And then I was a bouncer at night at a nightclub.
That's a combination right there.
Yeah. And I got paid more bouncing at the nightclub than I did anything else I've done. So.
No comment. No comment.
Yeah.
Did you ever have to bounce anybody out of the club?
Yeah, it was a high end club, so all I had to do was carry a big flashlight,
Okay.
wear all black, and if the fight ensued, I just called HPD. So
Houston police.
yeah.
Well, listen, you're one of the friendliest, nicest guys I know, but I could see you as an imposing figure there.
Yeah.
If somebody got out of line at the club,
Hey,
Armen, get him out of
You're
there.
out of there. Hey, what are you gonna do?
That's right, exactly right. Well, listen, I don't see you working any clubs anytime soon. I think your job is safe at the World Affairs Council of San Antonio. You do amazing work. You have a huge heart, as evidenced by all the work you've done with Big Brothers, Big Sisters, and everything. And I know you've got a lot of fans here in San Antonio. So
you're very kind.
thanks for spending some time with me here today, and all the best to you.
Thank you, my friend. Congrats again. Huh?
And we will connect. Let the record show. Once I end up at KSET, we'll connect again, and hopefully we can attend some events and shine that international spotlight on everything that you do. So
I'd love it.
there he is, Armen Babajanian, the man,
Thank
the
you.
myth, the legend, and the CEO of the World Affairs Council of San Antonio.
Thank
Congratulations on your beautiful award, by the way.
Thank
This
you.
is pretty
Thank
cool
you.
stuff. All right.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
There's another episode of Pickup Lines. We'll be back again very soon. I've got more to do before KSAT, and as you might have seen on the announcement, Pickup Lines will continue at KSAT. So we're gonna get it. We're gonna figure it all out. But it's very exciting stuff. So until next time, be safe out there. Have a great day, and thanks for watching. Bye for now.
Thank you.